Welcome to the Retail Innovation Club Annual Innovator Forum 2023, where we bridge the gap between retail tech startups and leading brands. Over the next 3 hours, top brands will be sharing their innovative strategies and the scope of innovation that has driven their success, including interesting insights into industry changes and developments. But first, some opening remarks from Retail Innovation Club Managing Director Oren Paran and Yasmin Elad, Head of Business Development.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hope you see me well. We're delighted and very happy to see you all here today and welcome you to the RIC Innovator Forum. And we're broadcasting now live from Tel Aviv. It's a little bit rainy here, but we hope you all have a good time on our event. The event today will feature some of the most brilliant minds in the industry, including our honored club members and leaders in the retail sector who will highlight the main challenges, use cases, and tips to help you better understand the problems, needs, and challenges of the retail industry as a whole. The retail industry is a complex and fragmented world that presents significant challenges for early-stage startups with various verticals and tech segments, complex corporate structures, and a very long sales cycles. Startups often struggle to reach the retail prospects and end up losing time and focus navigating the way. So in order to support and assist in navigating the retail world, the RIC Innovator Forum was established to help tech innovators stay in the loop and better understand the main barriers and obstacles that retailers face in their operations. Our event offers a direct line to industry leaders and innovators in some of the largest global retail and shopping centers groups, spanning grocery, food, apparel, cosmetics, and more. Over the next few hours, you'll gain valuable knowledge and understanding regarding the industry's current state, its upcoming developments, implementation plans, and partnership opportunities. So first and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all our guest speakers who have joined us for this event to share their innovative strategies and insights into the future of retail. So without further ado, let's get on the road.
Thank you, Oren and Yasmin. We go now to our first session of the day, led by Dana Hochstein-Mann, Head of Innovation at the Fox Group, Israel's leading fashion brand. Dana?
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. I'll just share my screen. All right, some tech difficulties here. Should work. Great. So it's great to be here at the RIC annual event. I know that we have some new participants this year, so welcome to the new participants. And as such, I will take a few minutes just to walk through who Fox Group is and what Fox Labs is. First and foremost, I'm Dana. I'm the head of Fox Labs, which is the innovation arm of Fox Group. Fox Group is Israel's leading retailer. We have 24 brands in our portfolio, about half of which are either fully or partially owned by us, and the other half is comprised of global brands that we are franchise partners of. We have more than 1,000 stores in 20 countries. We have over 12,000 employees. We have Israel's largest loyalty program. We have about 2 million members, which is either a lot or a little depending on what you're comparing us to, but it is about 70% of households in Israel, so our reach is quite deep and broad here in the country. We're publicly traded on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, as are two of our daughter companies, one of which is Terminal X, which is our fashion e-commerce brand platform, which carries about 200 brands, some of which can only be found in Israel on Terminal X. Terminal X recently launched also its first international presence in Athens, Greece. And the other daughter company that's also traded publicly on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange is Retailers, which groups together all of our sports-related brands, Nike, Foot Locker, Converse, and Dream Sport. Fox Labs was established about 1.5 years ago in the end of 2021. with two main goals. The first is to identify and implement innovative technologies and concepts across the group. We work with a very broad mandate. Bringing innovation into stores online and offline across the supply chain and the warehouses and deliveries across the group with enterprise software and things like that. We employ a pilot program, at the end of which, if a company is successful in its pilot, we are happy to scale it up and introduce it to the rest of our brands and also our global brand partners. And the second goal is to make investments in the best early stage startups that we find in the areas that are relevant for our activity. On the team with me are Talia Tziv and Einav Margalit. Einav Margalit joined us after 5 years in the marketing department at Fox Group, where she led marketing for many different brands. And Talia Tziv joined us after being project manager at a fintech startup and a healthcare related startup. My personal background is that I joined Fox after more than 15 years in the venture capital industry, entrepreneurship, startups. And I drill down into these details because our complementary backgrounds, I think, bring a lot of value to the companies that we work with here at Fox. But of course, it's not just us here. And there is the entire Fox Group team that is at the fingertips of companies that work with us. So I like to divide Fox Labs' value proposition to the startups and also more established companies that work with us into 4 areas. The first is the human resources, the access to the top leadership of top executive leadership of the group and the top executive leadership of each and every brand, who are closely involved with the pilots that we operate and are happy to help and give feedback and advice and connections and help out in many different ways to the companies that we work with. The second is the fact that we are active across the entire supply chain. Various brands of Fox are designing products, manufacturing, shipping, importing, exporting, transporting in many different ways. So companies that work with us not only meet the supply chain where they address it, but also the stages before and after. And then, of course, we have the broad and diverse portfolio of brands, different brand categories, different territories, different types of brands. And that coupled with the fact that we're active across the entire supply chain sort of makes us the ultimate playground for startups and companies that work with us. Lastly, and fourth in the value proposition is the broad network that Fox Group has. So it's not just the brands that we work with, but Fox has relationships globally with other brands as well, and also with the mall owners and real estate developers and shipping companies and manufacturing plants. And like I said before, once we're satisfied with the company and we can really get behind them, we're happy to endorse them and make connections to whatever is relevant in our network. To date, in the past year and a half, we've had about 450 companies come across our desks. About 75% are Israeli, 73% is a more accurate number right now, but for the most part, it's at around 75% from Israel, 12 to 15% from Europe, and the rest from North America. And that is a ratio that I work very hard and invest a lot of time and energy in maintaining. And this is part of the reason that I also like to participate in events like these, because while it's easiest for us to work with companies that are based here in Israel, and there's so much innovation here, I also want to make sure that we have our hand on the pulse on what's going on abroad. And there's so much great innovation going on really worldwide in retail tech these days. We have 11 active pilots currently. There are a few more that stay tuned that are going to go on air, go live in the next quarter. Scale Up are 5 companies that we have completed successful or mostly successful pilots, successful enough for us to want to deepen the relationship and expand the work with them to additional brands. And we've made 3 investments to date. I think I see some of our entrepreneurs in the audience. So the first is Beyond XR, a company that develops highly immersive 3D virtual environments for e-commerce websites that are no hardware needed and can be easily accessed at any platform, mobile or desktop, of course. Baby Arc takes military-grade technology and is designing the safest and smartest baby car seat. And for all you parents out there who have ever tried to strap in a car seat and sort of hope for the best once you're done, we all know the need for a smart car seat that will actually indicate when it's in properly. And the last and most recent investment is a company called Chainlane, formerly known as RF Keeper, which provides us with our hardware and software and the management platform for stores in which we are working with RFID technology. And that is a great segue into our core themes for 2023. At the end of 2022, we shifted from a strategy of being very open, sort of come one, come all attitude and approach, which we were working until then, in an attempt really to get to know the market and really get the lay of the land and see what's going on out there. And at the end of 2022, like I said, we decided to focus on 4 core themes based on what we saw in the market, but also what we see inside the group, where the main challenges lie, where our growth strategy is taking us, and where within the group really we're most ready for implementing the type of innovation that we can bring. And so the first theme, continuing the topic of RFID and Chainlane, formerly known as RFKeeper, is item level data. And as the industry shifts from analog to digital retailing, we are in the process of rolling out RFID technology in our stores, which empowers us to manage our inventory at the individual product level. We can achieve higher accuracy this way, lower stock taking costs, run our stores more efficiently in general. At the next step, we plan to build on the RFID infrastructure and expand it from the stockroom to the storefront. Item level ID enhances the level of customer service we can provide and upgrades the customer journey. So we are seeking technologies that can interface with RFID and further expand our capabilities in this space. If you're not working with RFID, but you still think that your technology can bring us value, don't hesitate to reach out. Leave it to us to do the screening. The next core theme is personalization, of course. Across all channels, we believe that our consumers deserve the smoothest journey to obtaining the best items for them. So virtual fitting rooms, size predictions, outfit recommendations, styling services at scale. These are technologies that we are exploring and testing daily as we seek to leverage Terminal X's cutting edge platform, along with the group's 1,000 physical stores, of course, to provide shoppers with the most advanced shopping experience at home and on the go. We're seeking any and all technologies that enable e-commerce sites to offer each visitor the most accurate product and enjoyable experience, our loyalty club members to benefit from having access to the best possible offers across the group at any time and any place, and our customers in store to receive assistance that's crafted uniquely for them. So fast checkout, and I specifically worded fast checkout, self-checkout, mobile checkout, frictionless checkout, kiosks, payment apps, scan as you go, autonomous stores, alternatives to the traditional checkout systems and the long lines that went along with it are being introduced around the world in all verticals. And at Fox Group, we began introducing our own systems in this quarter, Q1. Our pioneer brand in this area is Fox Home, so look for it at a Fox Home store near you. More brands are coming. And we're seeking any and all innovation that can further enhance these systems. Anti-theft, inventory synchronization, payment systems that can operate our broad range of promotions and gift cards and loyalty points and other forms of transactions. Those are some of the main challenges that we're seeking to address in better, more efficient ways. Fourth is sustainability. Fashion retail is not the most advanced in terms of its impact on the environment. But having said that, this challenge is already leading to exciting and promising innovation in business models and materials and manufacturing processes. And I do believe that change is coming. We're currently exploring the introduction of more environment-friendly materials, and we're actively seeking any and all efficient and effective solutions across the globe that are not only environmentally sustainable, though, they must be economically sustainable and scalable as well. Lastly, not quite a theme yet, but one cannot speak about innovation these days without mentioning the 2 magic letters AI. While not yet a clearly defined theme, like I said, it's definitely an area to watch for us. I have been closely following the recent developments in the field of generative AI. I'm intrigued and fascinated by it. I try out every platform and technology I can get my hands on. The icon on this slide, which doesn't really match completely the look and feel of the rest of the presentation, but I designed it myself on Midjourney. There's a lot more to come in this space, but my goal is for Fox to be ready to jump in as soon as the right opportunity and use case present themselves. I think the ease of use of the applications coming out present tremendous opportunity for the, let's face it, largely traditional retail space. And quite frankly, it's really exciting to be on the front lines when such a disruptive technology is introduced. So I'm exploring use cases in marketing and content creation, data analysis, human resources, training, professional development, security, planning, forecasting, you name it. I'm not concerned at all about it replacing employees or service providers. I view it as a force multiplier that will elevate and enhance our capabilities across the board and will introduce new and previously unattainable ways for us to do things. So if you or someone you know are innovating in an area that is relevant to one of our core themes, or you're working on a generative AI tool that you believe can provide game-changing value to Fox Group, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you are a retailer or investor in the space and want to join the network of retailers and investors with whom I have quarterly calls, please also don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to exchange ideas on a regular basis with you, exchange deal flow, due diligence, talk retail innovation in general. My email address is here. Our website has an application form. You can scan the QR code. I try to be as accessible and as reachable as possible for all entrepreneurs, investors, and retailers in this context. Thank you.
Thanks, Dana Hochstein-Mann. Going now to Gabi Chertok, founder and CEO of The Builders, which provides innovation for Fortune 100 companies, including Mercedes-Benz AG, Walmart, Turner, Paramount, and Maersk.
I'm Gabi, CEO and founder of The Builders. And I'd really like to thank everyone for joining here and being part of this conversation. At The Builders, what we do is we try to look at how can Fortune 100 companies, Fortune 500 companies work with startups in an effective and meaningful way. We started about 9 years ago in 2014, and the concept was really to figure out how can you make this relationship better for both sides in this process of the corporates and the startups. And let me just see if I can there we go. And we try to figure out what's the best way to make this meaningful relationship. And we've been working since 2014 with multiple corporates. Now we're working, as Benjamin mentioned, with Paramount, with Mercedes, with Walmart, with Mondelez, with Cadbury, Milka, Oreo, all those tasty things. And recently also with Maersk, which we announced last week. And Maersk shipping company. For those who don't know, you recognize the logo on all the containers in the port. And in this concept of commercialization, we try to unlock the different components of why is it hard to work with corporates, why is it hard to work between corporates and startups. I'm not sharing a deck; I'm just doing it without a deck, so it's okay. As you're asking about the presentation. And in this concept, we try to figure out the whole process of what are different steps of corporates working with startups. We started from figuring out the beginning of the process. How do you work and refine the needs on the corporate side? And Dana gave a very explanation example of a really refined and perfectly fit corporate statement of needs. And not all corporates have that type of statement of needs, and we work with our partners on figuring out what are the needs that can be relevant to the startup world and can be solved with the startup in a meaningful way. So it could be, it depends on the corporate. We just completed a cyber program with Paramount, but it could be on the Beyond that I mentioned Beyond. So Beyond worked with Mondelez, and it was very published. So I can mention this. They launched the largest chocolate store in the metaverse in VR last year and a half ago in Christmas with Lacta, one of Mondelez's brands in Brazil, and really wide area and wide topics of needs. And we work with the corporate partners to figure out the needs. The second step is, as what we call a commercialization program, we work with the ecosystem and the network here to find startups that are relevant to that ecosystem. And one of the challenges we have working with such big brands is that we're based in Rothschild, and if you just open a window and say we're looking for startups for these great brands, we'll have a line of startups pitching all day. So we wanted to help the startups and help our partners globally and locally to be effective. So we take these needs and we share them with about 100 people who have a secret key who can refer startups to us based on this. So I don't want to tell anyone's name, but Oren has this key also. So if you ever want to get to us, he's one of the 100 people who refer startups to us, Oren and Yasmin. And the idea is really to take the needs and really get a curated list of startups to our partners. we know that working with big corporates can be a long process and can sometimes take time, and sometimes be a long process that ends with nothing at the end. So we try to make a curated experience for both sides as much as possible. So even in the startup selection process, we developed our own startup review platform. So our corporate partners get to review the startups based on a tool that helps them share the knowledge between themselves. So when a startup applies based on a referral, is referred to us based on the needs, they're able to share information the way they want it to be presented. So it's not, we heard about you in the startup database, and it's more or less, we think what you do is this and this. It's a startup communicating exactly what they do and allowing the corporates to review them internally. And sometimes they can bring in, with one of our partners, they once brought in 200 people to review the startups. And the idea is you get a really broad overview of what's happening, what's out there, what's in the world. In a specific space. And we know that when the person who's leading, for instance, building the first VR chocolate store in the world for Metaverse, they know, they've seen the entire world, they know what's happening, they know exactly what they want, and they're able to review and give, and when they choose a company like Beyond, they know it's something that they really need, and it's a really good solution. So just in the review process, this is part, we have 4 stages of reviewing, and it's a chance for the startups to get really good feedback. And in many cases, what we ask our corporate partners is, even if they say no, why no, at least for the ones they interview, and give feedback to the startup also. So it's an opportunity for a startup to get feedback, sometimes from the biggest experts in the world. 2 weeks ago, we had here the CTO of Paramount, the EVP of Engineering, and the Chief Information Security Officer, and they met with 15 startups, and the feedback, the experience they have, they've seen everything around the world. They can give really, really high quality feedback. So even sometimes they give feedback that helps the startup in something that can go on next company or next corporate you're going to work with. We have a program which is it's a 90-day program which starts with the POC. So I mentioned Paramount and Cyber, for instance. I give you the numbers. We had 49 startups referred based on the needs, 16 startups they interviewed, and 3 startups they decided to do a POC with. And within 90 days, and they extended it to 120 days, so it's a little bit longer. 120 days, they were able to say yes, no, what do we want to do next with the startup, and give the startups as fast as possible with least waste of time, I'd say, on the startup side. So the startup doesn't have this terrible long, maybe, let's see, let's drag it along, let's check next year, let's check next quarter, but being more specific and more practical on this. A little bit about the topics we had in 2022 and 2023. So we're looking at digital warehouses and what can come out of that. Digital twins of warehouses, digital twins also of plantations, and growing basic agriculture. We're looking at data and sharing data insights, data security. We're looking, of course, at cybersecurity, which is a very hot and interesting topic. Infrastructure, retail solutions, a little bit in the space of how can you present big brands inside retail locations. And then also on associate experiences. So digital associate experience, what's the experience look like inside an organization for big organizations, basically. And we release every twice a year. We release basically our needs. We're going to release our needs for this year in 2 weeks. So look to Owen and Yasmin to hear about that. They're going to hear what the needs are, and they're going to be able to refer startups to us. There is no presentation, Lilach, so I'm just talking, and you'll be able to get the needs, basically understand from them. And like Owen and Yasmin, there are about 100 more people in Israel who have VC accelerators, incubators, who have the secret key, and they can refer startups to us based on those needs. So I'd say the first task for an entrepreneur who wants to work with these big brands is to find one of these 100 people and then figure out if you fit the needs. And sometimes their startups fit perfectly for Walmart, but just not in the field that we're working on this quarter, this year. I can mention some of the past startups. So Aspectiva, which was acquired, the first company Walmart acquired in Israel, was in our program also. And they were in a very specific field, and now we're working on different fields. So it changes from quarter to quarter and from every half year, basically from different topics. I can give kind of a peek inside. The drones is going to be a big topic this year. A lot of drones, different solutions for drones. A lot of things around and warehouse security, warehouse, all kinds of things inside warehouses, smart thing you can do inside warehouses, and video analytics are going to be big this year. And I'll leave the teasing to figure out what our final needs will be in a couple of weeks when we release them, and then through the network basically get a chance to get referred to us and to answer these needs. So thank you very much, and I'll pass it over to back to Benjamin. Thank you.
Thanks, Gabi Chertok. A little closer to home now, we welcome Erez Aliav, the CIO at Big Shopping Centers, the leading group in Israel in concept development for open shopping centers and lifestyle malls.
Go for the well. Okay, so I started to say that I'm in Big for the last 16 years, serving as a CIO, CISO, VP of IT, and also as the company's rabbi. And okay. It's good. Okay, it's working. I'm married to Anat and father of 5. And by the way, this picture was taken last Friday on my youngest son, bar mitzvah.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. I enjoy diving, skiing, flying airplanes, and I also volunteer as a firefighter. And when I need to relax, I travel with our RV. Okay, before I dive into the main challenge I want to present, I'd like to share a short video with you about Big, hoping it will help you get knowing us a little bit better. Okay, now let's talk about the challenges we face. In the world where information overload is norm, our most pressing challenge is to shift through the data and extract relevant insights to drive out our business forward. In other words, we strive to become a data-driven company that bases its decisions on information rather than intuition or try and error. However, sometimes the relevant data is inaccessible or we struggle to collect it. Let me illustrate this with an example. As a B2B company, BIG's direct customers are retail companies, and we have no direct relationship with the end customers who visit our malls. One of our goals is to make customer preferred shopping with us over other malls or online shopping by creating an entertainment experience. To achieve this, we've added more restaurants, relaxation areas, and events to our malls, but we still lack a direct relationship with the end customer. We want to communicate directly with them to entice them to return to our malls for future purchases. Unfortunately, learning from competitor attempts to create customer clubs and trade websites involved high costs and have failed to increase customer loyalty. Therefore, we're seeking a unique solution that will help us gather critical information about our end customers' preferences, needs, and behavior. We believe that having this ability is crucial to our success as a mall, and it's equally important to us as it is for retailer in order to stay relevant. With this information, we can attract more customers to our malls and ensure they keep coming back, leading to satisfied and loyal customers. This in return drives the success of retailers that we have in our stores in the malls. We face various challenges in collecting the necessary data, and that was only one example. Still, we are determined to find a solution to become a data-driven organization. I would love to hear from you about how do you deal with similar challenges and what solution you have implemented. Thank you for listening, and I look forward for your ideas.
Thank you, Erez Ariav. Well, we're joined now by Shai Vardi, the CIO and CTO at Shufersal, Israel's largest supermarket chain with a 20% market share. Shai?
Okay, so let's start walking. So first of all, my name is Shai Vardi. I'm the CIO and CTO for Shufersal. So what is Shufersal? And again, we'll do it in a short and at a glance. Shufersal is the first supermarket in Israel. So it was the first modern supermarket, in 1957. It was a modern supermarket, and still it's the leading and the largest food retailer in the country. We have actually a wide range of retail format from lots of segments that we'll see in a minute. But the main segments is, first of all, of course, the retail itself. This is the most of our sales. It's something about 92%. It's the retail stores, it's the online, it's the private label sales, and the finance and B2B in retail. Second, it's our B chain. B, it's a pharma chain. And this is quite small in market share, sorry, in our share, in sales share, but still it's big in Israel. It's almost 100 stores in Israel, farm stores. And of course, we have a real estate a company inside our group. In the online retail, we are the first and the pioneer and the leaders in this online retail. We are the largest e-commerce website in the country, and also as a marketplace, now running a new marketplace. So in a glance, though, this is our most of our formats and companies in the group. In our core activity, you can find lots of discount format. You can find lots of urban formats, religious stores formats, and so on and so on. Altogether, we have something like 300 stores in our core activities, in our food and retail activities, and something like almost 100 stores in our B farm activity. Also, some other engines like credit cards, like B2B, all this cash and carry and others brands that you can see here, it's the B2B. We have our own, what we called, again, digital wallet. It's called Paybox. We are sharing this one with IDB, Israel Discount Bank. We have a stock chain, and of course, our loyalty club, a very important one. Of course, as I said before, real estate company and all others products and subsidiaries that we have. You can see it in the bottom of the page. So looking on our growth strategies, so you can find there are some new but even old growth engine, like our online and marketplace. We'll talk about the marketplace in a minute. Private label, Shufersal, business to business, B2B, real estate, finance, and farm. So few words about our key metrics. Actually, this is from 2022, most of it. So we have almost 17,000 employees. As I said, this is our stores. If you look at our card holders, so it's almost about 700,000 card holders. And you can see, of course, our income. It's more than 14 billion new shekels. So this is our main key metrics. So we believe that innovation is a major value in Shufersal DNA. This is usually what the CEO is disclaiming, and also our chairman. So it's not only our DNA, it's called also our corporate culture. Let's take some, we have lots of projects to discuss, and I can give you lots of examples, but let's take some major examples and projects that were implemented during the last year or even a year and a half or something. So the first one, we called it the smart card. It's shop and roll, Shufersal smart card. This is coming out of Shopik. Shopik is an Israeli startup, a very successful one, and actually you can see it in a movie, in 1 minute movie. Okay, so if you look at this implementation, we have already implemented this technology in 30 stores, big stores, our discount stores, and it's running, and it's amazing actually, and we are meeting the goals. So if you look at the goals for this implementation, you can find goals like a customer shopping experience, expand shopping basket, and of course depreciation reduction, and lots of other goals. We are there, and again, amazing implementation. Let's take another example in the same area. So it's called Shop and Go. This is our autonomous shop. We already have one shop that is running in Tel Aviv, of course, in Tel Aviv, and it's very interesting implementation, amazing technology coming out from Trigovision company, another Israeli startup. We are very proud of our Israeli startups, of course. Let's see it in a 1 minute presentation movie again. Okay, so this one also, if you can see the goals for this implementation, and this technology is also about shopping experience or customer shopping experience and the efficiency. And again, customers see that as a very interesting customer shopping experience. So let's take another example, very interesting one, also in means of technology, but also in means of customer experience. This is automatic fruit and vegetable identification. Actually, it can be more than fruit and vegetable. Right now, we are doing implementation for fruits and vegetable products, but it can be implemented for more products. So what is that? Edify is also, of course, Israeli startup. And its goal for that one is to build the AI system and train and identify non-barcode items in high response time. And these ones, actually, it's amazing shopping experience because, again, this technology can identify vegetable and fruits inside the plastic bag. Okay, like you see it in the next movie. Great. This one is already implemented in something around 200, almost 200 stores in our chain. So let's go to another example, but this is not an example. This is a real huge and very important project for our future, if I may say so. So we built two sites of CFC, a customer fulfillment center. And this is working and operating automatic customer fulfillment center for our online business, of course. We are implementing Knapp. This is an Austrian company. We are implementing this KNAP technology actually together and integrated with our systems on the information system. And we are already implementing 2 sites. And one of the sites that is located in Modi'in is the biggest food CFC probably in the world. It's a huge one, amazing one, 5 stores high. And actually this one is picking 4 different temperature. Also the frozen temperature, this is the world's first frozen picking shuttles. So I can, again, I can give you 10-15 minutes lecture about this site. It's amazing site, it's amazing technology, but again, it's only an example. Shufersal has a very huge digital ecosystems with something like 20 and something websites and application for all our companies and subsidiaries that is in the group. But we are trying to, again, to implement an holistic multi-channel or even omni-channel customer journey and create a seamless and personalized shopping experience. We are using also acoustic for this journey, and Unica, if probably part of you are using or knows this product. And of course, using our very strong and using actually our loyalty club with our 2 million loyalty customers that are in this club. Last but not least, this is the newest site in our digital ecosystem. So the newest site is a marketplace, and it just went on air on last December. And again, we are now doing this with Miracle and SAP, of course, Hybris, if you know this platform, implementing these two platforms and doing the integration by ourselves. And of course, we have been building an e-commerce platform for selling consumer products with only a commission model, and including lots of hundreds of sellers inside it, and of course selling different, something like now it's 60, 70, hundreds, thousands of products, but it can be hundreds of thousands product inside this marketplace. That's all, guys. Thank you for listening for me.
Well, thank you very much, Shai Vardi. We go now to Sam Doville, Technology Innovation and Sustainability Manager at Unilever. Sam?
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen, so bear with me here. And hopefully that is visible for everyone.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, brilliant. Let me just pull up the Zoom call as well. Hi, everyone. I'm coming from London in the UK today, so really pleasure to be here and speak to the community. Yasmin, Oren, we met last year, and I think the value of this community is really important to us at Unilever. So my presentation today will just take us briefly through where I'm coming from and some of the needs that we're looking at from Unilever's perspective. So first of all, the team that I am a part of, we call it our innovation and sustainability team, but we have a specific focus on technology. And our role really is to connect the dots around the ecosystem in our business and the external ecosystems. And we really want to use that to basically disrupt and innovate from within inside Unilever. So just to bring up on the screen here as well, giving an overview of the size of Unilever and who we are and what we do. We're active pretty much globally around the world, 190 plus countries. Around 3.4 billion people use our products every day, and there's many famous brands which I'm sure most people on the call are aware of. We've got 400 plus brands in our portfolio, and we've got an employee workforce of around 150,000 people, so truly global in our scale. And as part of that, in our team, as I say, we focus on technology. We actually report into our CIO directly. So there's some interesting dynamics at play here between how we pursue certain technologies or certain startups or certain capabilities versus what we need to do from an alignment from a global technology architecture perspective. So one of Unilever's biggest problems is the size of our workforce, the duplication and efforts that happen across the business. And especially when it comes to innovation, everyone thinks they have a great idea, but maybe it's already being leveraged somewhere else in the company and the globe that we can pull and duplicate around. So for us, we really want to focus on emerging technologies. We really want to focus on capabilities or problem-led innovation rather than solution-led innovation. And part of our team exists to kind of fit within that niche and connect the ecosystems and the dots around that. We have a strong framework that we've set up, which allows startups or allows ideas to go through an iterative process into that probably scaled view, which we ultimately see as our success. So if you think about that as a multi-year deal with Unilever, maybe a global implementation, but we have to take steps along the journey to get there. So part of that is around how our team uses a framework and leverages a framework to get to that scaled growth. Part of it is being internal futurists within the business. So we also do a lot of research on stuff like generative AI, which was mentioned earlier in the call. And then finally is around our innovation ecosystem that we have established around the globe. So I'll dive into those a little bit. So can I just check everyone can see, hopefully you can see the majority of the screen. From an ecosystem perspective, we are really kind of operating with 6 main hubs at the moment from a technology perspective, Israel and Tel Aviv being one of those main hubs. And actually what we see is that there's maybe a distinct speciality in each one of what those hubs can provide. So from our perspective, Israel at the moment is really doing great things from a retail technology and customer development perspective. We've also seen value from a sustainability perspective there. Whereas in London, we are more focused maybe on AI or fintech or Web3. But the idea is that we have all of these technology hubs and the partners within each hub talking to each other and really employing this ideology of open innovation, discussion, and network connections. The idea with this kind of ecosystem hub perspective is that it's always on. I think Unilever traditionally has always gone for a programmatic approach with innovation. So you'll have, a great degree of sponsorship. Maybe you'll set out a 6-month timeline for your innovation program. And, maybe by the end of it, it might meet expectations, but often it doesn't. So I think what we're trying to employ is an always on model where these ecosystems are always freely available and we can have this open discussion that is iterative and really kind of bring innovations every time throughout the year rather than more of a programmatic approach. And then we are powering this through one CRM platform that we're leveraging throughout the business that we can use from an ideation collection perspective, but also can use it as our documentation of startups or different partners that can help us in this innovation space. Again, to reduce efforts based off duplication, but also to increase that knowledge sharing perspective. So the platform we use is called Bloomflow. We have an external application form that you can access and I can share with Oren and Yasmin and the team that you can access through there. And what we really do there is take in those applications, match them towards either our architecture or those problem statements as I discussed, and really then think about a best way forward towards scale from a global perspective. We ran a program in Israel last year. We named it Retail Up, but if you think about that as our team as in technology was partnering with the customer development leadership team that we have across the business. And we used our kind of innovation ecosystem in Israel to push forward a number of problem statements and then match them with the relevant companies that we saw and interacted with. So, just two of the ones that kind of came out of that program. We've entered into quite an extensive pilot with Harmonia, which is an Israeli company, and then also Shortcut Playground. So these are kind of two iterations of companies that we've met through this network that we've taken into a pilot, and they are both, really doing quite well from a success perspective, and hopefully entering into that scaled multi-year global deal with Unilever from a tech provider perspective. So just wanted to highlight those. And then a couple of, the KPIs and the volumes that we're dealing with at the moment. We've got around kind of 250 or so startups that we at least have identified in our platform. I would say out of this, you can kind of see the funnel in the bottom right. What we're trying to do is bring that kind of funnel view. So if we're identifying you, how do you take that forward into real, genuine conversations that spit out real, genuine work? We've got around kind of 15 or so pilots in the running at the moment, and again, around 15 or so POCs. And again, these companies are coming, some of them are coming from Israel, some of them are coming from those different hubs that we have across the globe. So very much from a problem statement, or what is it that will probably generate traction within Unilever from a perspective of that. From retail, we are still looking for advanced pricing and promotion analytics tools and software and technology. We are still looking for technology which can provide a 360-degree view of the shopper that's entering into those retail environments. And we think the power of data and AI in this space is really quite massive. So two big problem statements for us there. Another one around real-time shelf optimization. So how can we track what our products are doing in these retail stores? How can we make that a more always-on process again, so that we can react in terms of our supply into retail stores, and we can also get closer to the consumer and how they're interacting with our products in real time. And then finally, just around the design for store, physical and online. So how can we drill down into store level data to be able to produce products, to produce promotion material that can better engage with consumers in a retail environment? So again, it's all around how are our brands impacting the behavior of consumers in store, and how do we take that to the next level? So there's some really exciting opportunities from that perspective. And as kind of mentioned, my focus definitely isn't just on the retail innovation side of things. There's also some really big trends that Unilever is really pursuing at the moment. So there's a big one around digital twin. So how can we create digital environments that are representative of the real world? And again, how do we feed that in from a data analytics perspective into our overall creative workflow, our sales workflow, and our supply chain workflow? Again, it was mentioned earlier around generative AI. I think this is creating a huge buzz within Unilever, but any companies that are working in the generative AI space, whether that be text to text, text to image, text to video, is really exciting for us at the moment. Again, implementing a couple of the workflows that we have across our different areas of the business. Gaming is an area for us, which is quite surprising for some people maybe on the call. But again, if you think about the brands that we have within our portfolio, we've really got a really good niche here in terms of tapping into relevant consumers. So working in that gaming sphere and making our brands come to life through fun is a really big focus area, again, from an innovation perspective to Unilever. Another feeling is around AI trust and AI risk management. So a big part of our company is around purpose and doing the right thing for the world. I think the advancements in AI over the last couple of months have been quite amazing from a technology perspective, but I think we also need to be cognizant of the fact that there are real risks that come with this. So I think companies that can help us navigate in this space are really exciting for us from a ESG perspective. And then finally, just around transparency across our supply chain. So again, part of our mission as a company is to make sustainable living commonplace. Any companies that can come forward and help us with transparency in terms of understanding how our products get to shelf, what is the impact of that, again, is a really kind of valued area for us to explore our innovation in. So I think that's the end of what I had today. So hopefully, I don't know if I'm running ahead of time a little bit, but I just wanted to share that. I need to jump off the call after this, but I've got Zhao, who's just joined my team, who is part of the Zoom meeting, happy to answer any questions that we can following this.
Well, thank you very much, Sam Dover, for those insights in terms of how Unilever is applying AI and different forms of innovation, of course. Next up is Sean Koffler, Head of Innovation at Superfarm, an Israeli multinational pharmacy chain and the largest drugstore chain in Israel.
So Sean couldn't be here today. He will be joining us. He sent a video, so just a moment, please.
Everybody, my name is Sean Koffler, Head of Innovation at Superfarm. Apologies in advance that I couldn't be here with you today live. I'm traveling, so this is a recording, and I hope that all the videos will work well. So let's start. The story, which is how I always start my presentations. So the story of what has become today a company with more than 10,000 people that work to provide millions of customers health, beauty, optic, babies, and food products and services, has actually started with just one simple pharmacist back in the 1940s in Toronto, Canada. He sold drugs and other products with his horse and carriage. For him, service and customer-first mentality were key to his strategy and to his success, and these values we hold dearly to this day. And although today we could never imagine a world without such convenience, it took a really innovative vision and an excellent execution to bring such a globally recognized concept to life in the first place. And this is at the core of Superfarm's distinctive innovation DNA. Oops. So today, Superfarm is Israel's leading drugstore chain with almost 300 stores in Israel and with more than 82 stores in Poland. Our online business in Israel has more than 3.5 million monthly unique visitors, which makes us one of the leading websites in Israel. And it just became about 2 years ago a marketplace with more than 300 Israeli sellers selling more than 140,000 products, which is huge. So big that the marketplace product catalog is larger than the classic Superfarm catalog. Our business model is unique, and we call it the four-in-one. Pharmacy, cosmetics, personal care, and optics departments, and together they bring a massive amount of traffic into the stores. Our goal is to provide a seamless and personal shopping experience to all our customers wherever they may be. Actually, beyond the sheer notion of shopping experience, we aspire to ultimately be a true day-to-day partner of our customers in their search for, usage of, and the benefit from the most relevant product offering that will keep them healthy. So how do we do it? When we innovate, we think about three main pillars. Our customers, what do they need and want? Our culture, how can we position our teams to help and want to help? And our partnerships, who do we choose to partner with and how? Today I will focus on the customers and our partnerships. So in terms of our customers, they're at the center of everything we do. We provide solutions that add value both in our physical stores and online that will make the buying process more convenient, efficient, and exciting, such as product discovery tools, using different AI tools to recommend, for example, makeup and skincare products based on a selfie and your skin type. In our health hub that we created, we provide products and services that support our customers' health and wellness needs. And different uses of robots, for example, our pharmacy robot, and I'll show you a new example in the next few slides. So here are some of the examples. We implemented the Revive Makeup Advisor a few months ago, and we see great results. More than ×3 conversion rate when comparing to customers that are not using this tool. We were also first to implement live commerce. We see great results, hundreds of views, and these views stay for around 40 minutes, okay, which is great. We see more new users coming to the website with high CTR, and of course, new income stream. We also implemented about a year ago, sponsored products, which also provides new income to Superfarm, better shopping experience to our customers, and we see great return on ad spend results to our suppliers that are using this tool. We also just recently, last week, launched a new pilot in Tel Aviv area, delivering products within 2 hours with 100% electric scooters. And the box that you see here in the back is temperature controlled, which means that we are the only company, the only retailer that can deliver medication directly to the customer's home. And this is Temi, our new customer service robot. We're piloting in 1 store. With this specific pilot, we're testing a few different case studies, which are divided into consumer-facing, and also we're interested to see how store employees and management interact. I'll show you a short video. So on the customer side, they could choose different option on the robot. For example, how do you find or how to get to certain departments? You can download the app from here, sign up to our insurance, car insurance, home insurance, and many more different functions. So what value does Superfarm bring to startups? We're not afraid to be bold. We think out of the box and we love it. And we even love more to learn new things. For many startups, we essentially become a design partner. We provide our data and analytics. We share our expertise in UI, UX, development, marketing, whatever they need. We invest our time and resources to make sure that our partners extract the best that they can from us before and after they launch. Being a design partner with a physical store spread that reaches over 80% of the population and more than 3.5 monthly unique visitors online makes us outstanding local partners to international retailers and startups. We are in a strong position to be a POC site and a jumping board for local startups that seek international growth. We also let startups or different partners use our logo when needed. We help in the go-to-market strategy. We invest marketing budgets. And we also enjoy to introduce startups to potential investors or other key stakeholders. We are constantly searching for solutions to real problems in these fields. For example, in the brick and mortar, how do we make the shopping experience exciting and engaging? Or how do we automate and simplify store operations? In the digital health space, how do we provide personalized health and wellness services? Or in e-commerce, How do we display the right product at the right time? And our supply chain and sustainability. How do we optimize utilities and be more sustainable? I'm going to share with you some examples from our need analysis that we're currently focusing on, and some of the examples that I showed answer some of these needs. So for example, in the brick and mortar, we're looking for different beauty and hair technology, loss prevention solutions, self-optimization tools, product availability. In the e-commerce, for example, product discovery tools, social commerce, how do we expand our retail media, etc. And we are constantly analyzing and reanalyzing the needs to make sure that we provide the right solutions to our customers and to our stores, which ultimately makes our customers' lives better. So thank you very much. Feel free to contact me. This is my personal phone number and email, and scan this QR code. If you are a startup, contact us. Leave your details after scanning this barcode, and all this information will reach directly to me. So thank you very much again, and have a great day. Bye.
And that was Sean Koffler. Thank you very much to Sean for those insights. Well, moving now into the food industry, we are joined by Jan Lingenbrink, Innovation and New Ventures at Edeka Food Tech Campus, which validates innovative retail technology for the cooperative of over 3,500 independent retailers within the Edeka group. Jan?
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to be here. I think I met a few of you last year in Netanya, so it's good to have an opportunity here to explain a bit about our challenges and our tricky structure right now. So Edeka itself is only operating in Germany. We are the largest retailer in Germany with almost over 400,000 employees. And in structure, we are a cooperative. So we're basically a very large kibbutz with a lot of people who have a say. And the backbone of the company are 3,500 retailers who are independent shop owners. So they actually own the places they operate. So it's not a franchise. And that means that with the 7 regions who are also dealing with anything that is regarding to logistics, procurement, and IT, Edeka in itself is a marketplace. And that has a few implications. One is that there are no 2 stores which are the same. So every single store is unique, and it's very hard to roll anything out that is pretty much relying on frameworks which are exactly the same or have to be exactly the same. And so it's a lot of complexity inside the company. Merchants, since they are entrepreneurs, they can do whatever they want. So they can buy which items they decide to have on the shelf, and they can also decide which IT solutions they want to have. So following the marketplace logic, of course, the best solution is normally chosen. And if an item is or a product is working well, and word of mouth gets around, and customers or retailers will choose a certain solution, and they always will mostly go for the path of least resistance. And so there's a lot of innovation going on. And we are, with our team, mostly focusing on the brick and mortar business, because the biggest issue is that if you have a very strategic solution, you need to have a consensus, which takes a long time. And we're always happy to forward any solution that is more in a strategic way. But our team is mostly looking to brick and mortar innovation. So what do we do about this? Our mission is to make technology accessible to merchants. You also have to say that most of the independent merchants we have, they don't actually care that much about IT. For them, it's a tool. It's anything that makes their core business easier, more profitable. So we always have to convince to have a certain solution taken in place and build a story and always a business case. And for this, we use a wide array of different challenges from different departments. So we are looking at stuff that's happening inside the store that can be easily and modularly put in place. But we're also looking at things that end inside the store, but need to have an upstream implementation before. So some things are naturally easier to implement, some things are not. So look at the checkout, for example. It's very hard to replace your checkout. So we normally steer clear of this thing. But if you have services that are attached to a checkout, we're happy to look at it. And if it's possible to pilot them inside the store, we also look at this as well. And what we then do is we share the best practices inside the group. Our tool for this is the TechStarter track and the TechStarter platform. It's on the one hand for startups that they can apply with their solution. We take a look at it, we carry it to the right people inside Edeka, which is already evaluated itself, because it's even from the inside, sometimes it's a black box and I don't want to imagine how it is from the outside. So we try to take it to the right stakeholders who have the problem, have the challenge, and you definitely will get a feedback from someone who knows their stuff. And for the merchants, we have a small list of curated solutions they can get, and they can procure directly from the provider. Anything that's creating a certain traction naturally goes into the standard processes of the buying department. So we only scrape the, let's say, lower height in terms of, if you talk about flight heights, we scrape the lower heights, and anything that's very successful then is given into the standard processes, which makes it more easy, because it comes along with a lot of things like service and SLAs and stuff. So the process looks like this. If you condense it a little bit, first we do a validation. So we try to collect feedback on the value proposition of the solution. We try to find a sponsor who wants to do a project with that, and a staging ground, which means, is it the store? Is it some other place inside the company? We do a data and compliance check, because this question will be asked anyway some way. So it's good to have some compliance and data privacy stuff going on before, so we are in the green out here. And if it works, we are creating a dossier of the solution. We put the solution on the stage internally. We share the benefits of it. And if it's a thing that can be modularly used inside one of our brick and mortar stores, we put it on the platform and let the retailers decide if they want to use it or not, and just pass on the request. And when this is going on, we consult and keep you in the frontal lobe of our retailers pretty much by putting solutions into newsletters and publications. We use other internal channels like boards and different sort of decision-making groups to get some feedback, and also share insights that normally or sometimes don't reach the supplier because they normally don't use that channel. And the solutions that we're looking for to be more specific are mostly at the moment things about energy management, automation, and anything that has to do with staffing. That are the three key piles of challenges right now. I think the most important thing, if you're working with us, is that the solution can be somehow implemented into a single store and is not requiring any hardcore integration for any larger ERP system, because that naturally takes a lot of time. And if it can be modularly checked, or if the value can be proven by doing let's say a workaround and having some prototype, that's also fine with us. So we're happy to look at everybody and at a solution that they're here. And if they're too big for our collars, then we are always happy to take them to the guys who do the strategic software and hardware decisions so far. So feel free to reach out, and thanks for listening.
Well, thank you very much to Jan Lingenbrink. We now welcome Ohad El-Tzul, Store Promotion Technology Director at A.S. Watson, the world's largest international health and beauty retailer with over 16,000 stores in 27 markets worldwide.
Hi, everyone. 1 second, let me pull up my presentation. And then we can start. Yes. And hopefully, yeah, good. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So yeah, so I'm Ohad. I'm a Store and Promotion Technology Director at A.S. Watson Group. I'm working in Group IT. I'm globally looking after strategy, roadmap, innovation, for our store technology and promotion technology. And actually, I'm going to talk a bit about both, a bit about strategy, roadmap, and a bit about innovation. But let me start with sharing who are we at A.S. Watson. So yeah, AS Watson is the largest health and beauty retailer in the world. You can see some numbers here. Won't go through all of them, but more than 16,000 stores, and we keep opening. More than 5 billion shoppers per year going through our different channels. More than 130,000 employees worldwide, more than 140 million loyalty members worldwide, almost 2 billion visitors to our websites per year, and so on. So quite a big volume and quite a challenging job for us in Group IT to make sure all that is up and running across all the different countries and domains. From brands perspective, so AS Watson started more than 180 years ago, also with one pharmacy store in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong is our home base. We are also part of CKH, which is in the world 500 listed companies. So in Asia, we have Watson as the leading brand across Asia, more than 7,000 stores, China, Thailand, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, obviously, Philippines, Vietnam. But we also have in Hong Kong other brands because this is our home base. So we have some wine boutiques, we have electronics with Fortress, and we have Park and Shop supermarkets. But let's say beside the exceptions in Hong Kong, our focus is health and beauty worldwide. In Europe, we grew mainly through acquisitions, started in the 2000s. So we have in the Benelux, where I'm located, we have for health and beauty, we have Kruidvat with more than 1,000 stores, Trekpleister with more than 200 stores. We have in the UK Superdrug and Savers with more than 1,000 stores together. We have luxury, we have EC Paris in the Benelux, we have the perfume shop in the UK, we have Marionneau all across West and Central Europe. We have Watson in Ukraine, we have Drogas in Latvia, and we are in partnership with the Rossmann Group, and they have stores in Germany, in Poland, in Turkey, in Czech, and in Hungary. So quite a big group, very diverse, and a lot of different brands and different formulas that we support with our systems. Saying that, we have systems, talking now about store systems, we started implementing systems around 20 years ago when the group started to grow and become what it is today. And since then, we didn't make any changes in regards to the systems themselves. Of course, a lot of enhancements during the years, but let's say the backbone is a set of offline systems and deployment, store specific. And we are moving in a kind of a big bang to a completely new generation where everything will be centralized near real time, API based. And I want to share a short video that talks about our strategy.
We can't hear.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can share your words. What the...
Oh, okay. You can't hear? Oh, strange. I did share screen with sound, but apparently it doesn't go through.
You need to share the sound.
Yeah, I believe I did that, but let me see. Yeah, let me talk over it. Otherwise we. One second. Let me go back. Okay, I will talk over it while the video is running. So Sorry, 1 second. You still cannot hear?
We don't hear.
There's supposed to be a small button at the toolbar where if you press it, it's on the right. If you press it, you'll find the option to share your sound.
Okay, let me see.
You have a couple of dots that you should
Yeah,
on.
press the dots. Oh, share sound.
Yeah, share sound, exactly.
Now it should be okay. Let's see. So let me restart. Can you hear now?
Yes.
Good.
A.S. Watson is the world's largest health and beauty retailer. To stay ahead, we are on a mission to centralize and modernize our in-store technology stack because the market keeps changing. Customers want to have this, buy this, and shop, well, anywhere. Meanwhile, A.S. Watson is growing. Our employees need scalable technologies to be able to keep reacting quickly to changes. That's why we want to stay ahead. And we're making sure of it. Introducing the Store Technology Strategy. Simply put, it means making things simpler and faster for everyone. Yes, you too. The 4 pillars are the transactional platform, the operational platform, digitalization, and data. This way, our customers will enjoy a seamless O+O experience. All apps are combined in a single in-store platform, and our store's applications will all have a consolidated user experience. Looking good. Using data gives us the ability to learn, improve, and be future ready. It will take a little while to complete our mission, but it's worth it because we'll be able to put a smile on our customers' faces today and tomorrow. Do you want to learn more? Contact the Store and Promotion Technology team.
So that's in a glance our strategy. I will talk a bit about where we are with it. So we are busy with, from one side, implementing the transactional platform. We are using NCR, R10 or Emerald, they call it now, as the backbone. But we are wrapping NCR with our own layer of APIs. This gives us the ability and flexibility to connect to any mobile touch point we have already. And with that, to start moving faster and rolling out faster, while we are also replacing, of course, the software we have on the physical point of sale. And we are now working actually in Europe and Asia in parallel to start rolling that in and to start using the APIs we developed on top of the platform. In parallel to that, on the operational side of things, we are building our own platform using a microservices platform we already have deployed centrally in AS Watson. And the idea there is that not only from front-end side as a back-end side of things, but also from front-end side of things, we want to bring in a layer, let's say a kind of a super app that is managing mini applications that we will publish under it. We are, by the way, at the moment in the process of looking for that super app platform. So if any of the participants has any capabilities there, you're more than welcome to approach us. I hope to finalize that within few weeks and define the platform we will take. So if anyone has any idea, more than welcome. And then based on that, actually what we want to do next is to start looking at real-time data and data insights. It's not that we will be ready tomorrow to start plugging in, let's say, AI on top, but we are preparing the foundation as we speak with internal models, data models, and APIs to support well, capturing real-time data, and then of course the ability to share that real-time data and report on it and alert on it and so on, which is for us really a huge change from where we are today to where we want to be. That's it in a glance in regards to the strategy. And let me share a bit also about innovation with another video, and I will also voice over it. So we also built an innovation lab. This is the innovation lab we have in the Netherlands. We have another one in China. The lab looks like a store. The idea here is that we are welcoming the BUs to come over, and we have a chat in the lab over the different innovations that we are bringing in, and they can see that in action in an environment which they feel very comfortable with and fully understand, and we can really discuss the journeys. We can look at usability, and this is for us the starting point for any new in-store innovation, to see if it works for us, if it makes sense for the business, to develop an initial set of KPIs or business cases on top, and from there to hopefully get into a pilot store. We do have a few, well, we opened the lab just before COVID, so we had a few difficult years where the business, of course, was focused on survival, less on innovations. But we are now back to where we wanted to be, with sharing with the business, going through different innovations, back to creating our internal community with the different business units. By the way, this locker wall that you see here just went live in one of our business units a few weeks ago, and hopefully second one is coming soon. And that's one example of an innovation we were able to get live. This is, by the way, the luxury area of the lab. Unlike health and beauty, where let's say speed of transaction is important, space and stock availability is important, and so on. Luxury, what's most important is the service, and therefore there, any application or technology that helps to improve the customer service, this is what we will be looking for. So I'm happy to talk to startups, to work with startups, to find ways to get some technologies into our lab so we can then present it to our business units. And of course, well, happy with any way to improve our business. And as we say in AS Watson, to keep the smile on our customers' faces. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Ohad and Atul. We now go to Nick.